Giving it how well up, boys? I don't know. Victory, boys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this virtual press conference. I'm Jonathan Turner, Head of PR and Communications at ROCKWOOL and the Denmark SailGP Team, and we have some exciting announcements for you today. We have a great panel joining us. First of all, Mirella Vitale, Senior Vice President of Marketing, Communications and Public Affairs at ROCKWOOL. Mirella, can you hear me?
Yes, I am. Hi, Jono. Good morning.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. We're
Thank you.
also joined by two athletes from the Denmark SailGP team. Nikolai Seisted, the youngest helmsman on the start line for season 2. Hi, Nikolai.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. And Martin Kirkterp, Olympic gold medalist from the Beijing Olympics 2008. Martin, hi, how are you doing?
All good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining. Well, without further ado, let's begin. In case you missed it, a couple of weeks ago, SailGP announced the rescheduling of season 2 to next year. Nikolai, you've already reacted to that news, but just recap your reaction to the news of SailGP moving to 2021, and give us a bit of an insight into how you're looking to keep the group together as we go forward over the next few months.
I mean, of course, our initial reaction was that we support the decision. Safety is paramount, but we're racers and we're sailors, so obviously we're also disappointed that we can't go racing and spend the time on the water. But we now have an opportunity to grow as a group and develop our team and focus on getting faster and better in the foiling boats. So thanks to ROCKWOOL, we have a fantastic opportunity now to keep working as a team and prepare for season 2 in SailGP, and we're really looking forward to that.
Well, it sounds really exciting. Mirella, maybe you can give us a bit more insight into the plans.
Yes, well, obviously, just to back up what Nico was saying, we fully understand and accept the decisions made by SailGP because safety is the #1 priority. But also we knew that we had some time and a gap to fill. And we didn't want to sort of let go of the team after we had made that commitment back in December to bring a competitive Danish team into the SailGP race series. So we're very proud that today we're launching this new initiative, which is Team ROCKWOOL Racing, which is a partnership between ROCKWOOL and the Denmark SailGP athletes. So we keep the athletes together so that they can fill up the time until April 2021 when we go live again with our team in order to train and better prepare. Everybody knew that it was a little bit last minute when we went into Sydney, and the guys still did a really great job. But obviously we want to use the time gap that we have now effectively, keeping the team together and planning some training activities that some are set and some we will inform the fans as we go along, and maybe Nico will talk a little bit about it later. But it was very important for us to stick with the commitment that we made. So this does not mean that we are no longer partnering with the Denmark SailGP team. That very much stays. That whole sponsorship for the 3 years of the seasons stay, but it just is delayed to April 2021.
Awesome. Team ROCKWOOL Racing. Nice ring to it. Nikolai, could you give us a look at what exactly is on the calendar then for the next few months? Give us a bit more detail.
Yeah, I mean, we have a range of really exciting activities planned. We're going to spend a lot of valuable time on the water, training and racing. And then we're going to also, do some show activities. We're going to deliver some educational sessions to kids all over Denmark. We're going to travel around the country and sort of spread and share our ROCKWOOL message and share the boat and the sailing team with all our fans around Denmark. And then we also look to break a few records along the way. We're looking to see if we can beat the record around Fyn and also around Zealand. That would be two fun Danish records for us to try to take on.
Now you talk about breaking records. Obviously, you're not sailing the F50 that you sail in SailGP, are you? So give us a bit of background about what are you looking to do this training on? Which boat are you looking to do the training on? And how will that help you, since it's not an F50? How will it help you prepare for next year?
We're going to be sailing a GC32. Obviously, it's far from the same level as the supercharged F50 we're racing in SailGP, but it's still a foiling boat. And it's a very fast foiling boat, so it works in the similar ways in terms of control of the boat and the foils. and that's definitely going to give us a lot of experience and learning towards the SailGP when we return to race the world's best sailors.
Now, Mirella, how important is this project for ROCKWOOL and for Denmark?
Well, if we start with ROCKWOOL, it's of course incredibly important for us because this was the sort of marketing platform that we had used, that we did sort of bet our money on to reach a broader audience. And of course, a lot of our customer engagement initiatives have actually been cancelled this year because of the obvious reasons. So to be able to get the team back up and running, for sure starting in and around Denmark and Northern Europe, but we also see opportunities to go further. We actually still see the opportunity to bring our customers out into a different environment where we still talk about ROCKWOOL and our story, but also have the opportunity to spend some quality time with our customers in a setting that is a little bit more fun than the usual events that we would take. Then, of course, as I said, we are a Danish company and very much committed to bringing a competitive Danish team. The athletes are all Danish except for one. From the beginning, and so this extra time, if you would like, is in that sense a little bit fortunate. Even though the guys did a great job, because the F50s are not broadly available. Having this extra time on a similar boat to be able to spend more hours on the water is, of course, hopefully going to help us be competitive from the start in the next season. So. Very important for both ROCKWOOL and I think for Danish sailing in general. And what Nico was saying about the youth programs, that is also another really essential program that ROCKWOOL stands behind, because we want to get young people back out onto the water and back outdoors, and to do that in urban environments. And we know more than ever today that there's sort of this thirst for the open air. Since we've all been on lockdown for a very long time. So we're really happy to be able to offer that to Denmark and to our customers around the world.
Excellent. I mean, you've discussed before, that this is the SailGP for ROCKWOOL is a long-term commitment and a really great platform for ROCKWOOL to showcase its products and its values. So tell us a little bit more about that. Why is SailGP the right platform, and why have you committed for such kind of a long period of time? Why is that beneficial?
Yeah, I think with every partnership they take time to kick off, and so we've done our evaluations, and we definitely feel that the markets where SailGP travels to as part of the circuit match the ROCKWOOL commercial markets. It's also very much about sailing in cities and in urban areas, where of course the whole ROCKWOOL modern living concept comes into play, because our one purpose is to enrich modern living. Then it's of course a strong sustainability program of SailGP, which matches the ROCKWOOL profile and our targets. So we felt it was a perfect match. And of course you can go in for 1 year and first see how things play out, and then decide later if you're going to continue the relationship. But I think we felt from the start, I mean, we met the athletes and had a lot of time together, and we've met obviously the SailGP organization, and we can feel the direction where they're bringing the race, the profiles that we've chosen for the team. Really the match is well suited, and so we're very confident that by taking the decision now, we actually have that long-term perspective to build on this program from the start. So we're confident that making a 3-year choice was the right choice.
Okay, thank you. Just a reminder to everyone, if you have any questions for us to put to our panel today, you can add them into the comments box in English, and we'll ask them to the relevant people. But maybe in the meantime, maybe we can go to Martin. Martin, Nikolai's outlined a range of activities, including a Rock the Boat Academy and moth camps and youth workshops to inspire young sailors around Denmark. So how important is that? Give us a bit of your background and tell us, how key are those moments when you're developing and learning a new sport?
Those moments are definitely key. Passing on the legacy with these Rock the Boat Academy is going to be something that both us as athletes and ROCKWOOL feels strongly about. And I remember when being a young sailor and having a lecture by an old sailing star of Denmark, and I still remember them to the day, and they were hugely inspirational. And I'm sure we can spend some good time with these kids and boys and girls, and if we can pass some of that inspiration on to them, this will be big for us and for them. So it's something we feel really strongly about.
And Martin, sport is a real, it gives a real boost to people. It's a very powerful thing. And obviously we've, I think around the world, it's been and still is in some places, a very strange time where sport is not being able to take place in the same way. So how much of a boost is it to bring sport back and to get people active again and try and find some normality?
This could be a big chance for us to boost the sport, and people are looking to go outdoor and go sporting again and use the body, and I think we can have some good time with them and really help with that. And I think everybody is looking to be active again, for sure.
Nikolai, you've been very active since Sydney. So although there's been no sailing, you've been very busy crunching the numbers and going through all the data from not only from the Sydney event, but from season 1 of SailGP as well. So tell us a little bit about the data that's available in SailGP and how that has helped you as a team to make progress and to understand sailing the big foiling catamaran, the F50, in more depth, even without necessarily sailing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a massive part of SailGP, and for a new team like us, is that we can actually access the other team's data and look into how they're sailing the boat and developing their speed. So, we spend a lot of time analyzing all the data from both Sydney, but also the last season. And we always come down to that, just doing a little bit of a better job and pushing the boat a little bit more. It's I can spend hours and hours of talking about some specific numbers, but I think the bottom line is that we need to spend more time on the water as a team so we can push the boat a bit more to the limit, fly the boat a little bit higher and just generally go a touch faster. And if you have a little bit extra speed, life just becomes easier. We always say it's very easy to look good if you're fast. So that's what we're aiming to develop towards. And yeah, thanks to ROCKWOOL, we now have a perfect platform and season for us to where we can develop these technologies and skills as a team.
Excellent. We've had a question come in the chat. Nikolai, perhaps you can answer this. When we talk about the Rock the Boat Academy and the youth activities that we're looking to put into place over the coming months, can you give us a bit more detail? What, for example, would a typical day at the academy look like?
Yeah, I mean, we want to get as many young upcoming sailors on the water with us and spend some time with us. We really want to, close that gap that is between our team and the youth sailors. We want to be a team that everyone can approach and, text and call and ask for feedback and advice. That's really what we want to achieve and what we want to be in Denmark. So we're doing these academies where we are, going to be coaching young upcoming sailors in the dinghies, and we're giving our experience and our learnings on to them. So a typical day would be, we meet in the morning, we discuss the plan for the day, and then we go on the water and we be coaching from rips and giving them feedback and trying to inspire and learn whatever we can from our past in the dinghies. And our whole team is growing up in dinghy sailing. So between the 6 of us, we have a fair bit of experience we can share, and I'm sure we can create some great fun. The key is also to have fun when you're sailing. It doesn't have to be hard and long days. It can be fun, and it can be just an exciting day to spend time with your friends and sailing buddies. That's also what we want to push towards.
Okay, we actually have another question coming from Carson. When we talk about the record attempts, how are you planning to integrate that into the calendar? Because obviously, I know you work with weather windows. Some attempts are kind of officially registered, some are non-official. So give us a bit of more insight into how that process works, the record attempts, and when roughly are you looking to potentially attempt them?
Yeah, I mean, record attempts are a little bit tricky. If you want to do them well, you have to have a large weather window where you really monitor the weather and trying to find the best window to go. But we don't have that luxury because we don't have that time. We have a calendar we need to stick to with other training and other stuff. So our record attempt is pretty much fixed in June already, and that's just part of our challenge as well, that we have to make that work, and we have to give it the best shot in the weather we have on that day. But yeah, we were going to do it around Fume, but that race unfortunately has been cancelled this year, so we're just going to do it on our own and sort of use it as a test for ourselves and put some pressure on ourselves to deliver and deliver on a long period of time. It potentially is going to be almost 10 hours of sailing. So we will be pushing ourselves when you're foiling and really pushing these boats to the limit for 10 hours. And that's a great challenge. The record around Zealand is called a Silver Spinnaker, and that's one where you can sit at any time you want. There's a few, of course, official rules you have to stick to, so we'll stick to them. But we have pretty much a free window where we want to set that record. But again, we're a little bit limited with our own calendar, so there will also be a fixed date where we just hope for the best weather we can get.
Excellent. Back to you, Mirella. Obviously, in the season 2 calendar, we had a Copenhagen event with SailGP. What's the intention, obviously, with the rescheduling? Is the intention still to bring SailGP to Denmark? And if so, when do you think we might be able to hear some more confirmation on that?
Yeah, so it is our intention to bring SailGP to Denmark, and we're working with the various authorities to ensure that happens. It's tricky to set a date right now because obviously so many of the sporting events that were already planned for this year have been postponed. So we need to make the calendars work. Of course, there's some logistics also with the SailGP organization, but we're working very closely with the SailGP team to ensure that we do bring the race to Denmark. So I don't have a date and cannot confirm, but I'm confident that we'll manage to get it done. And obviously, it's important for us to make sure that the team and the athletes can sail in front of their home crowd. And that was also one of the very firm commitments that we'd made already for season 2, where ROCKWOOL is actually going to be the partner sponsor also for the event that will be hosted in Denmark, and we maintain that commitment also for the season that will be upcoming. So we're hopeful to announce during the summer, hopefully, but we have a few things to finalize in terms of dates.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Nikolai, back to you. We've got another question coming on the chat. Who will join the team for the GC32 record attempt?
We're going to stick with the same team we were racing in Sydney. So obviously it would be Martin, who's here as well, Hans Christian, Lars Peter, Rasmus Kustner, and Tom Johnson. So same team, no changes. We are taking on the challenge and sticking together.
And why was it so important for you to keep that group together and keep everyone engaged in this project? You know, what benefits will that give you as a new team?
It's a massive challenge taking on SailGP. It's something that you really have to stick together and work together as a team to achieve. It takes a lot of hours and a lot of work, not just on the water but also off the water. And I really feel we managed to have a great group of guys, on the team, and we're working well together, and everyone is giving it 100%. So I have no complaints and no fingers to put on anyone in the team. So I have no reason to do any changes. I'm very happy and proud of the guys I'm sailing along with, and we're going to stick together and develop as much as we can as a team.
So I think to summarize, we've got a very busy few months upcoming over the summer and the fall. Nikolai, in say 6 months' time, where do you hope to be as we draw nearer to the next to season 2 of SailGP in spring next year? You know, where do you hope to be in terms of experience and in terms of learnings?
I mean, I hope we have 5 times more hours in the boat that we have now in a foiling boat as a team. If we can get there, that's a big step for us in terms of getting ready for next season. And then I hope we really succeed, doing these initiatives we have in Denmark throughout the summer with the youth, with the record, with just meeting Danish sailors around the harbors. That's really something we look forward to. So I hope we have a great summer with lots of learnings and a lot of hours in the water, but also a lot of fun with our fans and our supporters here in Denmark.
Thank you. Well, once again, thank you to everyone for joining us today. Thank you to our panel for taking the time out to answer some questions. And we look forward to seeing Team ROCKWOOL Racing come to fruition, this collaboration between ROCKWOOL and the Denmark SailGP Team athletes. It sounds very, very exciting, and we can't wait to see it come together. So thanks to everyone, and thanks again for joining.
Keeping it well, boys. I don't know. Big 3 boys.